Hello everyone, welcome back to the another session of LRDI. Today we are going to solve a set which came in CAT 2024 slot one of the easiest set, and everybody must have done this set. Since if you'll see last 6 to 7 years of CAT, this set, according to me, this set is the easiest among all the CATs in the last 5 to 7 years. Looks like a bar graph, but again, this is not a bar graph. It's some type of a missing data kind of set. So let's quickly look at the set. So there are 6 wave surfers, M, N, O, P, X, and Y, and each has 30 stars, which has to be distributed among 4 bloggers, which are 4 bloggers, A, B, C, and D. And the number of stars received by A and B from the 6 wave surfers are given in the table, right? Okay, so this is the table is given only for A and B, right? So now I can say A received a total of 10 stars, 10 stars from A and 0 stars. B has received 0, B received 0. Similarly, A has received a total of 25 stars, 25 stars from A and 0 from B. Similarly, from O, nobody has got any stars. Similarly, from P, it's 5 stars from A. A got 5 stars from P and B got 25 stars from P. Similarly, no stars was given to A and B by X. And lastly, I can say there are 5 stars which are given by Y to A, and there is 20 stars which is 20 stars given to B by Y. So this is a kind of the total interpretation out of the given bar graph that we have. Quickly look at the statements which are given to us. The number of stars given received by a blogger from the surfers were all multiples of 5. Okay, so what is the multiple of 5? What's the statement multiple of 5? Multiple of 5. So basically, multiple of 5 basically means a table of 5. 5 into 1, 5 into 2, 5 into 3, 5 into 4. That has to be a multiple. So any integral multiple of 5, right? And we know stars cannot be fractional value. So there cannot be half star, 5.5 star given. So there has to be integral multiple of 5. So any blogger can have or any surfers can any blogger can have only any multiples of 5 that can they have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and so on and so forth. These are the number of stars they can where they can get, right? Now, the total number of stars received by the bloggers were the same. Okay, very important statement. So the total number of stars received by the bloggers were the same. So all of the stars, all of the bloggers got the same number of stars. Now, statement number 3 says each blogger received the different number of stars from M. Okay, 2 surfers gave all the stars to the single star, and D received more star than C from Y. So let's quickly, what I have done is there is something called the concept of missing data that we have in front of us. So let's use this table and fill the missing data. Before that, let's quickly look at the question. So what is the total number of stars received by D? Straightforward questions. What is the total number of stars received by D from? Again, a very statement. So what is recommended to you guys is to read the set first, then read the questions, analyze the questions that what has been asked. Is there any independent questions? That means independent questions are those questions which are needed to be solved separately apart from the set. Once you solve the set, that is not done, right? So for some extra information is given in any particular questions, you need to interpret that data and again solve the question. So is there some kind of extra data info provided in the question? Some sort of questions need to be dealt separately, right? So from first and second, that the question that we have 1 and 2 are pretty straightforward questions. Look at the question number 3. How many surfers distributed their stars among exactly 2 bloggers? Again, a very straightforward question. And 4, which of the following can be determined with certainty, but which is definitely true? right? Certainty, which is definitely true. For any cases that you have, that has to be a two statements. So we have two statements. We'll look into that. So all the questions are pretty much straightforward. Let's try to solve the set. So using this table, let's try to fill the table. So now we have from A, this value is 10, this is 0, then we have 25, then we have again 0, then we have 0 and 0, this is 5, this is 25, this is 0, this is 0, this is 5, and this is 20. Now I can say M has given, for now we do not have any data for C and D as of now in the table. We'll look at C and D separately, right? But from the data that we have, M has given 10 stars to A, 10 stars to A, and 0 stars to B, right? Similarly, N has given 25 stars to A and 0 stars to B. Similarly, this has to be 0, 0. P has given 5 stars and 25 stars to A and B respectively. X again 0 and 0. Y is 5 and 20. Now, we know that a total of all MNOP, right? All these suffers will have exactly 30 stars, which is given in the questions, right? So M has a total of 30 stars, N has a total of 30, O has a total of 30, 30, 30. This is also 30, and all sums up to 180, right? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 into 30 is 180. Now, we have a very straightforward statement which is given to us, which says the number of stars received by the bloggers from the suffers were multiple of 5. No, not the statement. Look at the second statement. Again, a very statement. Very, 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 very important, and might be a possibility where we can solve this question, one question out of the given statement, this statement only. The total number of stars received by the bloggers were same. That means what? The stars received by each of the bloggers is same. That means what? And now I can say we have a total of 180 stars distributed among A, B, C, and D only. That means what? All of them are going to get 180 divided by 4, which is equals to 45. So this is going to be 45 stars received by A, 45 by B, 45 by C, and at the same time 45 by D. And now, believe me guys, we have solved one question. Look at the first question. What is the total number of stars received by D? We know now the total number of stars received by D is equals to 45. A pretty straightforward question, a lovely question, and I definitely for that reason only I recommend students to read the question before you solve the set. That's a very interesting way of solving the question. At least think about this. If you are not able to solve the set further, but at least you have gained a lovely +3 lollipop marks, right? Now, so we are done with all the information which is given in this table. Now look at the information which is provided in the statements, right? Now, further information that we have. The following additional information about the given: the number of stars received by the bloggers from the suffers is a multiple of 5, including 0. So there are people who can have 0. So we'll take care of that later. We cannot use this as this point of time. You cannot use it directly because we do not have any data to be filled. Right now, second, the total number of stars received by the bloggers were same. We already have used this data. Third, each blogger received a different number of stars from M, right? Different number of stars. Now we say that 10 is already given to us. So I am left with only 20. So the possibility that we have is 0 or 20, 5 or 15, 10 and 10. And this, if we'll go further, that will be repeated. Now, since B already have 0, so this is possibly out. Now, this possibility is gone. Similarly, if you look at this third statement, all of the bloggers have received a different number of stars from M. So this 10 is also gone. So I can say now this has to be either 5 or 15, and this will be 15 or 5. Now we are done with the M. At least now we have the possibility. We'll deal with this later, right? Now look at the fourth statement that we have is the two suffers were given all the stars to a single blogger, and that has to be, look at the M. M has given 10, so he cannot give 30 directly to one of the blogger, right? Similarly, n has given 25, so not possible. N, so this is the possibility. Now I can say it must have given 30 to A, then this will be 0, or the vice versa is also true. Now I can say it must have given 0 to C and 30 to D. This is also a possibility. And there are such two such kind of people, right? So that definitely P is not going to be that case. Again, X has to be that person. So if this is 0, so this will be, he must have given 30 to D and 30 to C, then the 0 to D. Now we're done with the fourth statement as well, and D received more stars than C in Y from Y. So now we are left with only 5, and we know the number of the stars has to be a multiple of 5, since Y already had distributed its 25 stars out of 30 stars. That means what? Only he is left with only 5. So there is no distribution as such, further distribution as such from these 5 stars. That has to be someone is going to get 0 stars or 5 stars, and the vice versa, which is 5 or 0, right? So in that case, now I can say C will get either 5 or 0, and this will be 0 or 5. Similarly, that the same is true also for N as well, right? So N already has distributed its 25 stars. That means what? He's left only for with the 5 stars. That means what? Now he can give only 5 to C, and if 5 to C, 0 to D, and if 0 to C, then 5 to D, right? At least we are done to this point. Now let's calculate the total number of stars given to C. Okay, now so now we can say, okay, now one very important information that we have missed is this: D received more star than C from Y. Okay, that means what? D has to get more stars. That means what? D has to be 5 and C has to be 0. C has to be 0 because D is getting more stars than D is getting more stars from Y than C. Then C has to be 0 and D has to be 5. Right? Is that clear? Now, since let's say, if I'm saying at any point, like if O is giving 30 to O to C, then X will give it to 0. So at any point, right, either O will give 30 or 0, or X will give 30 or 0. I can say for C is definitely going to get 30 either from O or X, either from O or X. Either. So I can say either O will give 30, then X will give 0, or I can also say if O will give 0, then X will 30. So at any point of time, any one of them is going to give 30. So out of 30, 45, the total number of stars that C is going to get, I can say out of that 45, 30 is going to get either from X or from O. Now in that case, I have to look at this two data that we have. So at any point of time, I can say he has 30 stars from either O or X. Now, if you see 30, now I can say this is 0. So if you give him 5 and 5, he cannot make it to 45. So now I can say the only possibility for C is 15 stars from A, and if this is 15, D has to be 5. And from here we can get, now this 45 is done from 30 from either from O or X and 15 from M. Now I can say N will give him 0 stars, and if this is 0, this is going to be 5. Is it clear? Now I think everyone is clear with this, right? Now I'll just write it accordingly. So this is going to be 15, this is going to be 0, this is 0, this is 5. Now I can say A is done with 45, B is done with 45, 30 plus 15, C is also 45, and 5, 10. Sorry, this is not 0, this is going to be 5, not 0. I'm so sorry. So this is going to be 5. So this is 5, 10 plus 5, 15, and either from O or X, it is going to be 30. So this is 13 plus 15, 45. Now, since we cannot, so I think this is this 30 and 0, and this variable is going to be as it is, since we do not have further informations related to this. Now, quickly look at the questions. I think we will be I'm pretty much much sure that we will be able to solve the questions using the data that we have as of now. Right, now look at the question. The first question, we already have, okay, so we already have done the first question. Now look at the second question. What is the number of stars received by D from Y? D from Y. D received D from Y. So he got 5 stars from Y, right? So D received 5 stars. So the answer is 5. 5 is the correct answer. Now, how many suffers distributed their stars among exactly 2 bloggers? Exactly 2 bloggers. Now look at this. No, M has distributed to 3. No, this is not the answer. So yeah, N is 1. N is 1. O is not my case. Yes, P is the second person who has distributed to 2 persons. Now X is not our case. And okay, so there are only 2 persons who has distributed his stars to only 2 bloggers, right? Now, which of the following statement following can be determined with certainty, which is can be determined for sure, right? The number of stars received by C from M. The number of stars received by C from M. C from M. Yes, we can definitely find this. This is the total number of 15. Yeah. So 1 is definitely doable, right? This can be found with certainty. Now, second, the number of stars received by D from O. D from O. No, we cannot find it for sure because it can get 0 or 30. So only 1 is the correct answer. A pretty much like easy set, definitely doable, and for sure a easy 4 into 3, 12 marks for everyone. Thank you so much guys for watching the video.